Hello friends, welcome. I'm so glad to be back. I have been on a week-long vacation up to New England. Had a great time, so many beautiful fall colors, but I am excited to be back in my craft room. It was an exhausting trip. I was on a bus tour and boy, they kept us running. So it is great to kind of come home to slow down. So today we're going to make a kind of a sweet little Halloween card using some fun, pretty pink Posh products. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so here is what we're going to make, and this is with the Pumpkin Fringe die set from Pretty Pink Posh, and they have this, you can make like an Easter egg with one of the other sets, and I think they may have more of these fringe sets, but super fun. Okay, so this is how the set looks. It's just a die set, and you can make 4 layers with the fun fringe. I'm going to be using some black foam squares, some of these clear bubbles. You see on this one I use some black gems. I'm going to use these kind of clear bubble gems on this one. I'm going to use the cute little spider right down here and spooky wishes from this set. And let's see, it is called the Pretty Pink Posh Halloween Greetings. And then for our card that we're going to make today, I'm going to use this little corner piece up here. There's also a Spooky Wishes in here, but it's a little bit smaller. And then I did pull in a set from Whimsy Stamps, the large postage dies, and I'm going to use the largest one out of that. And that was just to give a little more interest to the background here with my pumpkin. And you can see on this one thing I did was angle this piece on here to kind of give it that back a little more interest, and I used some pattern paper that I had in my stash that looked like spider webs, just to kind of go with my spider on here. But I've been trying to use up my pattern paper. I don't know if you guys are in that same situation, but I've got lots of pattern paper, so you could easily stamp a fun spider web design on the background or stencil it. Lots of other ways to do that. I'm just trying to use up some of my patterned papers. So for today's card, I wanted to I was kind of playing with color. So instead of going with the different shades of orange, I wanted to try making a Halloween card using blues. So I went ahead and I die cut all my different pieces of the pumpkin here with the fringe, and I like to just take my fingers here and kind of bend and move some of that fringe to separate it, just give it a little fringy look. And I have done that in 3 shades of blue. It's kind of a tealy blue, teal-ish blue, I don't know. There we go. And then I didn't have a 4th. Like in my oranges here, you can see I had 4 shades, but I did have this glitter paper. So I thought that might be fun to add a little glitter into my pumpkin. So that's what we're going to do. So, all right. I have also gone ahead and stamped and heat embossed my little corner piece, and I went ahead and colored that up using some Copic markers. I also stamped and heat embossed my Spooky Wishes. I cut my little pumpkin stem here out of brown, and that is a die that comes in the die set. I made myself a black background, and I just used one of my dies to cut that out so it has some stitching around the edges. And for this one, I chose a piece of the spiderweb paper that had a black background instead of white, so it's kind of just the opposite of the other one. All right, let's go ahead and start putting this together. Now, I'm going to go ahead and color one of my spiders, and these are some colors of Copics that I rarely use, but I'm using the B99, the B95, and the B91. I didn't want to color my spider completely black, or it would have completely covered up his eyes. So I'm going to go around the outer edge of my spider here with my darkest color, and I'm just going to gradually go to my lightest color in the center. I'm going to come back again with my medium and just kind of blend that out a little bit more. So the lightest place is right there in the center so that I can still see my spider's face. Let's see, we'll go ahead and die cut that real quickly. I love it that these little images come with dies so that we can easily cut those out. I would not want to have to cut around all these little legs. I'm still using my manual die cutting machine. Alright, there we go. So I have two now little spiders cut out. Something on there. There we go. So let's go ahead and start putting this together. Let's layer up our background pieces, and then we'll work on our pumpkin. So like I said in the beginning, they do have these fringed dies to make like an Easter egg, and there may be one other one, but it's just to create something a little different. And before we go any further, let's put this together. So we're going to start with our base piece, and I'm going to just lay them out here in the sizes. And the way I like to do it is using some black foam. We're going to provide layers between, or you know, we're going to pop up each individual layer. And to open these up, a new package. There we go. So we're going to use these larger ones for this one. Just place a few. And maybe I'll use a couple smaller ones too, just out here on the edge. Now, of course, I'm not putting any foam near my fringe because I want my fringe to be able to move. All right, now the way these work, we're going to line up this top little edge on all of the layers. And I'm going to add foam to each one of them. Lining up that top edge again. There we go. And now for our last one, I'm going to use the smaller. That doesn't want to come off there. There we go. In order not to hit the fringe, I'm using these smaller pieces of foam. And again, lining up that top edge. Alright, now to add my stem, I don't want to put it all the way down, but I don't really want it all the way up either. So I'm going to add just a little bit of glue right down here at the bottom edge. And I'm going to put that on the glitter level. And then I'm going to take one of my foams and put right there. All right, there we go. Our pumpkin is almost ready to go. Now, for my spooky wishes, I'm going to glue my spooky wishes right here. But because we added the foam this way, I'm going to have to add some foam down here on the wishes part. The spooky part will glue flat, but on the next part, I need some of my foam. So we're going to, here, get this. And I'm actually going to cut one of these in half, maybe two of them. We'll see. I'll go ahead and cut two so it's ready. And then we'll add these little bitty pieces right there. All right. I glued the back of this part. Set that right there. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and finish this card off. So on my first one, I had angled this to give more interest, but I was thinking for this one, I might go ahead and put it square. And then this little ghost piece, I wanted that to be right up here. Now let's add our pumpkin. See how that all fits. We might have to put it all the way up in the top corner. I kind of didn't want to cover up my postage stamp. And I think I have a piece of foam here on the back side of this. I'm going to take that off so that this spider can actually, oh no, you know, that's not going to work because it's just too high up. I would have to pop that up too far. All right, let's see here. You have to go about like that. And then I was thinking these extra 2 spiders that I have would look fun if I just put them right on my pumpkin. So this is kind of what I'm thinking. So let's go ahead and put these down. And you know what? I'm thinking I might like this popped up. I only have black foam in like really thick, and I don't think I want it too thick, but I do want it popped up a bit. So I'm going to add just a little bit of foam on the back side of this. And I think it's far enough inside that it won't be noticeable that it's white instead of black. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and put that down. Yeah, I like it that way. And now let's go ahead and add our pumpkin. And for our pumpkin, I'm going to go ahead and just glue it straight to the cobweb piece. I'm going to put it right down here at the bottom. Okay, there we go. Alright, and maybe he will be able to just rest right up there. We're going to see how that looks. A little bit of glue right here to the back side of that, because I think it's going to rest up there. Maybe not. I went ahead and put that all the way out to the edge of the postage note. So these spider webs, they go all the way to the edge of the post-it note, just like that. So for this little spider, I'm going to put him right over here, and he's going to need a little bit of foam on one foot. He's going to be at an angle there. All right. And then for this one, I'm going to add a piece of foam. I'm going to put some glue on that foam because to stick to the glitter, they kind of have to, whoops, that's a little too close to my reading. Okay, I'll hold that in place there on this foam. There we go. Now the final thing is going to be to add some of our little bubble looking gems here, and I believe these are actually a Stamps of Life product. They came in one of my card kits. I think they're really fun because they take on kind of whatever color is underneath. So we're going to use some different size ones and put them right over here. And I thought they kind of gave a little bit of a ghosty feel. And let's see, is that the same size? Maybe I'll just put a couple up here on my pumpkin. Use some of the smaller ones. A smaller one yet. All right. Now with these fun fringes, the last thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and kind of play with those fringes again, get them good and separated. And what a fun card. I love how the blue turned out. There we go. All right, what do you think? You like it with the corner piece or without? You'll have to let me know. But if you've never played with Pretty Pink Posh's Fringe sets, they're really fun. Kind of create something different. I think it'd be fun to try making these fringe pieces out of felt and see how that turns out. So maybe that's something I'll give a go. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, and I look forward to crafting with you again real soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.